Want to create those scrapbook style seamless Instagram carousels? Well, today in this video, we're going to do just that. Hi, my name is Kayla and I help content creators create better content for better results. So be sure to hit that subscribe button and that notification bell to get my latest uploads every week. So to get started creating your carousel, you will need a free account on Canva, and we'll need to start with a Canva carousel template that's sized 1080 pixels by 1350 pixels. So here I am on Canva, and if you just click on create and scroll over to custom size or type in carousel, easiest way usually for me is to come to the custom size and type in 1080 by 1350 and then hit create new design. And it's going to pull up a blank canvas. And the best place to begin is by setting your background color. So depending on how many slides you're going to create, you can add a few pages and then select a color for across all pages so that it's a seamless design. So I'm going to choose this light green color and click change all. And so now I've got multiple pages and I can add more as I go on. So maybe I'll do a 5-slide carousel. The next thing to do is you can either place your main text on the carousel, so what your cover will say and what each slide will say, or you can start designing with cutouts. And so what I like to do is just place the cutouts first and create the overall aesthetic. And so if you go to your sidebar here, so we don't want the Canva sidebar, we want the design sidebar. And you'll click on elements, you can search for any sort of cutout images you might want. And so you could look for cutouts by just typing in cutout and then going to the filter, scrolling down and clicking cutouts only. And you're going to find different graphics, photos, and so on that you can place on your design. So go through the design and place different cutouts that you'll want. And I'm just picking just to show you, for example. And you'll want to also overlap or make the cutouts align across different pages. And so that is one of the things that people struggle with the most. And so the best way to align cutouts, so if I wanted this strawberry to be partially on this page and on this page, I would slide it over and align it in a way that it aligns with this page. So one of the best ways to make sure that things align is by going to File, Settings, and Show Rulers and Guides. Let me minimize this here. So if I know I want the strawberry here, I can click on this line. You see the arrow, the 2-arrow mouse. So once it shows 2 arrows like that, you'll click and drag a purple alignment, and you see how it changes to pink instead of purple. That means it's hitting the top of the strawberry. So I'm going to go ahead and release it and leave it right there. And when I go over to this side, you can see that ruler is still there. So we want to align the top of the strawberry. So I'll just kind of align the very edge. And so I will go ahead and align this like that. And so it then, right now, it's playing a trick of the eye. It looks not exactly lined up, but we used a ruler. And so when you actually download these and look at them in your Instagram, it will line up because you've used these rulers. So what you want to do is go ahead and do that with different cutouts and images. So here I've gone ahead and added some picture frames and some stickers and some images from my own library into this template. And I've added these white outlines around the cutouts so that they appear more like stickers. And so in order to do that is you'll go to edit. When you click on the image, you'll click on edit and you'll go to effects. And right now I have it applied as an outline. And when you click on outline, it gives you these draggable settings. And so you can make the outline super thick or different colors, and you can make it more intense or less intense. So this is where I had it set. I had it set at somewhere around like 30 or 25 in terms of size and white. And I did that for one sticker, and then I clicked on the copy style, and then I pasted the style onto the other elements, and I just went through all the elements and pasted that style to it. So you just go through all of your elements and add that sticker-like look, and you'll end up with something sort of like this. And now you're ready to start placing doodles and text. And what I like to do is add in a mixture of text styles to create that scrapbook style look. And so you'll want to probably start with your images, place your images in the frames, and then create little handwritten style text doodles and maybe some arrows pointing to the photos or the images to reiterate or make little notes about what's happening in the photo or what you want people to take away from the image itself. Do that, we will add in some images here. And I'm actually making the carousel for this tutorial, so I'm going to add in an image. So this slide's going to explain that in order to create this look, you'll want to go into Canva and search cutout. And so I will use a little arrow, like a doodle arrow, and point and circle cutout, and maybe make a little comment about that. So sort of like this. So this text right here is using an effect, and I like it to be curved in the design because it does give that more handmade feel. So under effects, you'll scroll down to curve and adjust the curve how you want it. But also the font is a handwritten style font called Dreaming Out Loud. You can find all handwritten style fonts by typing in handwriting or handwritten, and you just go ahead and search, and it'll give you search results for different handwritten styles. You can pick one that you like, and this is one that I liked, so I used that for this, and I'll use that same font across different pages. And so what I'll do right now is I'll go through and I'll add the images and these little doodles. So this is a little oval, so if you go into elements and you type in oval, you can go to graphics. Oh, I gotta unfilter cutouts. There we go. And so it was this one right here. It gave sort of a handwritten sort of marker style. So I used that one, but there's lots to choose from. So once you've added in your images, you're able to add in the main text that you want. I like to create a very similar look to my carousels. So even though this is a scrapbook style, I am keeping it a little more professional looking to match the rest of my Instagram grid. So I'm using my brand fonts and brand colors, but you can make this even more handmade looking by using different paper elements. So if you type in paper, and they have different photos or graphics of crinkled paper, so you can even layer more elements to make it really give that layered look. So here I've dropped in this ripped piece of paper. I'm going to go to layer and send it to the back, and you can see that we're just adding even more layer effects to this. And so there's lots to choose from. And so the main goal of this is to make it look handmade and very scrapbooky. So the more you layer and the more elements you add that give it that layered, I made this by hand look, the more it's going to give that feel. So I'm keeping it relatively straightforward and simple so that it matches my brand and still gives that scrapbook trendy style. So I've provided a free template right below this video. And in fact, it's this template that we've worked on. So you can grab a copy of this template to create your own. It's linked right below this video, but I've also got an expanded 54 Instagram carousel bundle that comes with these cutout elements for you to use in your designs. And it comes with 54 caption templates that you can use that match each of the carousels as well. So it's up to you if you want to go ahead and try the free carousel template. Definitely check out my 54 Instagram carousel bundle as well. Since it does come with 150 of these little cutout elements for you to use inside of any of your carousels, just like I've done here. So there you have it. That's how you create a carousel that's seamless and that gives the scrapbook feel. And once you download this, you click share, download, and you can download it as a PNG, and it'll download each individual page, and you'll post it to your Instagram individually, within your carousel, just like you would any other carousel. So you'll want to select all of these images to post and make sure to post them in order, so that when you post it on your carousel, someone can scroll from page 1 to 2 to 3 and get that seamless feel.